Montana, a kingdom of absolute vastness, a horizon carved by ice, rivers, and relentless winds. This is the story of a wild territory, carved where towering mountains meet endless prairies. Where bison herds roam the valleys, and vast skies guard silences that feel eternal. While the modern world rushes forward, Montana preserves the ancient rhythm of nature. Glacier National Park, with peaks that rise to touch the clouds. The valleys of Yellowstone, alive with the call of elk and the distant roar of geysers. Welcome to a journey through the natural wonders and hidden landscapes of Montana. A land that still stands, among the most untamed and authentic in all of the United States. Glacier National Park. Set in the Rocky Mountains, this park shelters more than 25 active glaciers and well over 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles of hiking trails. Its geology tells stories of millions of years of erosion, while its glacial lakes reflect landscapes that remain perfectly intact. It borders Canada, linked to the Waterton Lakes, forming an international park declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Wolves, elk, and grizzly bears roam its valleys, offering a biodiversity that is now rare in the United States. Scenic roads like the Going to the Sun Road cross alpine passes and deep valleys, showing an ecosystem that shifts from prairie to snow-covered peaks. It is one of the few areas in the country where species from grasslands and from boreal forests coexist. Grinnell Glacier. One of the most visited glaciers in Glacier National Park, reached by a trail that winds through lakes and alpine valleys. Its surface has shrunk dramatically over the last century, becoming a clear symbol of climate change. On the way up, mountain goats and marmots often appear, perfectly adapted to these rocky heights. At its base, turquoise lakes are fed by summer meltwater, creating reflections of striking, almost unreal color. The area also reveals a geological stratification of more than 1 billion years, with rocks belonging to one of the oldest sedimentary systems in North America. Lake McDonald. The largest lake in Glacier, it stretches for 16 kilometers, or about 10 miles along a valley carved by ancient glaciers. Its transparent waters are home to trout and char, while the shores are covered by dense forests of fir and western red cedar. It is famous for its multicolored pebbles visible through the clear water, ranging from green to deep red. In winter, the surface partly freezes, turning it into a silent and remote scene. On its shores, moreover, stands the Lake McDonald Lodge, built in 1914 in rustic style, one of the oldest tourist buildings in the area. The valley where the lake lies is one of the main gateways to the park, right along the famous Going to the Sun Road. Logan Pass. The highest point reachable by car in Glacier National Park, set at 2,025 meters or 6,645 feet. From here begins some of the most iconic trails like the Hidden Lake Trail, leading to an alpine lake surrounded by meadows in bloom. In summer, fields explode with lupines, lilies, and wild sunflowers, creating one of the richest flower carpets in the park. Bighorn sheep and mountain goats graze close to visitors, often without fear. In the winter, however, the snow makes the pass impassable, with drifts that can exceed 10 meters, or 32 feet, which is why the road remains closed for much of the year. Yellowstone National Park. The very first national park in the world, established in 1872, spreads across Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. It is famous for geothermal activity tied to the supervolcano, with geysers, hot springs, and fumaroles, making it a unique natural laboratory. Alongside geology, the park protects rich wildlife, with bears, wolves, bison, and elk. Canyons, waterfalls, and broad grasslands complete a landscape of striking diversity. In Montana lie the Mammoth Hot Springs, where terraces of white and golden travertine rise from calcium-rich waters. The surrounding prairies host herds of bison and deer, offering some of the best scenes for wildlife viewing. This area, less crowded than others, allows a more direct contact with the ecosystems of the Northern Rockies. Bighorn Canyon National Recreation Area. Stretching between Montana and Wyoming, the area follows the Bighorn River, which carved a canyon more than 300 meters, or 984 feet deep. Its red stratified cliffs reveal centuries of erosion, creating spectacular scenes. The lake formed by the Yellowtail Dam offers kayaking and fishing in a remote and wild setting. Here, eagles, bighorn sheep, and many other species thrive along the rocky slopes. It is far less visited than other parks, yet its panoramas extend from towering cliffs to vast plateaus. Hebgen Lake. West of Yellowstone lies Hebgen Lake, a reservoir created by a dam on the Madison River. It is known for the 1959 earthquake, which triggered a colossal landslide and forever changed the landscape. Today, its calm waters attract fishermen and boaters, while its forested shores provide popular summer camping spots. In winter, once the lake freezes, it becomes a place for snowmobiles and ice fishing. Despite its dramatic origin, the lake is now a key recreational and tourist resource for the region. Quake Lake. Quake Lake was born from the sudden 1959 earthquake, magnitude 7.5, which caused a massive landslide, blocking the Madison River just below Hebgen Lake. The event killed dozens of people, leaving behind a landscape still scarred by nature's force. Now its waters stretch for more than 10 kilometers, or 6 miles, surrounded by landslide slopes and forests that slowly reclaim the terrain. The area remains unstable, with visible signs of rock movement, making it a natural laboratory for geologists and seismologists. It is also a destination for sport fishing and kayaking, thanks to the rich fish population of the Madison River. Flathead River. Born in the Rocky Mountains, it branches into 3 main forks. The North Fork runs wild along the western edge of Glacier National Park, among remote valleys and untouched forests. The Middle Fork is famous for its rapids, which every summer attract rafters and kayakers, offering one of Montana's most adventurous stretches of water. The South Fork instead feeds the vast Hungry Horse Reservoir, a dam built in the 1940s that today provides hydroelectric power and water resources to the entire region. After joining together, the river flows south into Flathead Lake, the largest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi. Its clear waters, considered among the purest in the United States, support native trout and salmon, sustaining an intact aquatic biodiversity. The shared management between national parks, forests, and tribal lands protects this balance, making it a river of great ecological, cultural, and economic importance for Montana. Paradise Valley. Paradise Valley opens just south of Livingston, following the course of the Yellowstone River, between the Absaroka and Gallatin Mountains. It is a natural corridor leading straight into the northern entrance of Yellowstone National Park. The landscape alternates wide ranches, hot springs, and rivers rich with fish, creating an environment that for decades has drawn writers, artists, and local communities tied to rural life. The waters of the Yellowstone River offer some of the best fly fishing stretches in the country, attracting anglers from all over the world. The mix of agriculture, tourism, and untouched nature makes this valley both economically and culturally central to southern Montana. Madison River. It rises in the geothermal heart of Yellowstone, where the Firehole and Gibbon rivers merge. From there it flows into Montana, crossing wide valleys and narrow canyons. It is considered one of the best fly fishing rivers in the world, yet it is also loved for gentle rafting and for the panoramas that follow its path. In its upper section, the river runs through the Madison River Valley, an area rich with ranches and farmland. It is also one of the three rivers that give birth to the Missouri, together with the Jefferson and the Gallatin. Bitterroot Valley. The Bitterroot Valley stretches across western Montana, framed by the Sapphire Mountains to the east and the Bitterroot Mountains to the west. It is a fertile corridor inhabited for centuries, first by the Salish tribes and later by European settlers. Today it alternates ranches, vineyards, and small towns, all keeping a strong bond with rural life. The Bitterroot River flows through the valley, and in summer the mountain trails lead to alpine lakes into spectacular views. In autumn, instead, the warm colors of the forest dominate the horizon. The main city, finally, is Hamilton, which serves as the cultural and commercial center of the entire area. Lolo National Forest. It covers more than 8,000 square kilometers, or about 3,000 square miles of western Montana, stretching from the Bitterroot Mountains all the way to the Idaho border. It is one of the richest forests in biodiversity, with fir, ponderosa pine, and larch, offering habitat to wolves, lynx, and black bears. Its history is also tied to the Lewis and Clark expedition, which crossed here in 1805. Today, in fact, visitors find hundreds of kilometers or miles of trails perfect for hiking, mountain biking, and wildlife watching. The area also shelters wild rivers, and in winter it transforms into a landscape for cross-country skiing and snowmobiles. Blankenship Bridge. Near Columbia Falls in northwestern Montana stands Blankenship Bridge, crossing the point where the North Fork and Middle Fork of the Flathead River meet. It is a simple structure, yet its location is extraordinary, offering views of turquoise waters and surrounding mountains. Around the bridge, river beaches open up, very popular in summer, perfect for swimming, kayaking, and rafting. Even though its main role is local connection, the bridge has become a photographic stop and a gathering place for residents and travelers. Pole Bridge. Pole Bridge is a tiny community along the North Fork of the Flathead River, just a few kilometers or a couple of miles from the Canadian border. It is famous for its historic mercantile, open since 1914, known for pastries and baked goods, loved by hikers and travelers. It has no conventional electricity, which preserves an atmosphere both authentic and remote. The dirt road that leads to this community, moreover, crosses forests, rivers, and prairies, home to a rich variety of wildlife. From here, you enter one of the least visited areas of Glacier National Park, including Bozeman Lake and Kootenai Lake. Whitefish Lake. In northwestern Montana lies Whitefish Lake, surrounded by conifer forests and by the peaks of the Whitefish Range. It stretches for 10 kilometers, or about 6 miles, and offers waters perfect for sailing, canoeing, and fishing, with populations of trout, char, and pike. In summer, its shores attract many visitors, and the presence of public beaches makes it easily accessible, even for a short stop. Sunrises and sunsets are particularly striking, with the light reflecting directly on the calm waters. Alta Mine. Close to the ghost town of Alta stands the Alta Silver Mine, one of the very first developed in Montana, active from the late 1800s and later abandoned. Today, its remains overlook small lakes and basins of deep blue color formed over the years around the old excavations. These waters, rich with minerals, shine with changing tones, making the site fascinating both naturally and historically. Today, what remains of the site blends with the landscape, becoming an integral part of an ecosystem that has slowly reclaimed the land. Bozeman. It is one of the most dynamic college towns in Montana, home to Montana State University. Born first as an agricultural settlement, today it combines culture, education, and innovation. Downtown is filled with galleries, cafes, and craft breweries, while the nearby valleys open to fishing and hiking. Bozeman is also the main northern gateway to Yellowstone National Park, less than 2 hours by car. Its international airport guarantees fast connections, making it one of the best connected cities in the state. Missoula. Missoula rises at the confluence of 3 rivers, in a valley surrounded by mountains, that offer hiking trails and cycling paths. Known as the Garden City for its green spaces, it is also a lively cultural hub thanks to the University of Montana and to many music and literary festivals. Its past is tied to the timber trade, but today it stands out for a diversified economy and for a strong focus on sustainability. The waters of the Clark Fork River, cutting through downtown, are used for kayaking and even for urban rafting, an unusual experience for an American city. Missoula is also home to many environmental organizations working to protect the great ecosystems of the Northwest. Helena. Founded during the gold rush of 1864, Helena quickly became one of the richest cities in the American West. Today it is the capital of Montana, and it still preserves a historic core with Victorian buildings and with the majestic Cathedral of St. Helena, inspired by European Gothic churches. The Montana State Capitol tells the state's political history through murals and art collections. Around town, the hills still hold remnants of the old gold mines which once fueled the city's fortune. It is also the starting point for hikes in Mount Helena City Park, which dominates the area with panoramic trails. Big Sky. Big Sky is a mountain resort town, famous above all for skiing, with hundreds of kilometers or miles of slopes served by modern lifts. But life here does not stop in winter. In summer, the slopes transform into trails for hiking, mountain biking, and climbing. In recent years, the town has grown rapidly, with new resorts and villas, yet it remains a privileged gateway into untouched wilderness. Moreover, the landscape of Big Sky is dominated by Lone Peak, rising to 3,403 meters, or 11,168 feet in elevation. It is one of the most recognizable peaks in southern Montana, and it stands as the main attraction of the local ski area. In winter, its steep descents attract expert skiers, while in summer it can be reached by gondola or by trail, all the way to the summit. Lewistown. At the very geographic heart of Montana lies Lewistown, surrounded by 5 mountain ranges, which shape a horizon in constant motion. Founded in the late 1800s, the town grew with agriculture and with the arrival of the railroad. Even today, it keeps a strong bond with ranches and livestock, while also offering a lively cultural side. Its central position makes it a strategic stop for exploring rural Montana, among prairies, mountains, and communities deeply rooted in tradition. Billings. It's the largest city in Montana, in the state's main economic hub. Founded along the Yellowstone River in the late 1800s as a railroad junction, it quickly grew thanks to agricultural trade and the energy industry. Today, it is an urban center that blends modern residential neighborhoods with a historic downtown, marked by 19th century brick buildings. Billings also serves as the gateway to important historic sites, like the Little Bighorn Battlefield, and to natural areas such as the Beartooth Highway. Big Fork. It is located along the northeastern shore of Flathead Lake and is considered one of the most vibrant communities in northwestern Montana. Despite its small size, it offers art galleries, theaters, and restaurants that attract cultural tourism alongside nature lovers. Its position between lake and mountains makes it ideal for sailing, fishing, and hiking. In summer, festivals and music events fill the village streets with life. It is also a strategic point for those wishing to explore both Flathead Lake and Glacier National Park, located less than an hour away. Rural Montana. Rural Montana is defined by vast natural spaces with rolling hills, broad plains, and dense forests. Here, agriculture remains central, with ranches and farms spread across the land. Horses still play an important role in daily ranch life, supporting cowboys in cattle work and in moving across the toughest terrain. Many small communities preserve traditions and ways of life tied to the land, while rivers and streams provide water for both people and wildlife. The climate can be harsh, with cold winters and hot summers, which deeply influence everyday life. Despite the challenges, rural Montana offers a slower pace, one shaped by a strong bond with nature and with agricultural traditions. This, then, is Montana. A natural spectacle that defies imagination, yet also a land sparsely inhabited where the spaces are immense, the winters long, and life demands resilience. And if you want to discover more incredible places across America and across the world, explore our playlist waiting for you right here on the right.